Hello, welcome to TheBlueShifting. I'm your host, 2D Jordan. Where's 3D Jordan, you ask? Well, he's crying in the corner because he forgot to record the audio. Yeah, it's rather pathetic, so I'm going to come and intervene here. So let's get started with our commentary, because I'm going to walk you through what you missed. So where we left our pathetic heroes was Claret was moving in with her handsome, devilish, roguish, rich guy who wanted to apparently sell her the airship. Now, we don't really know why, and he seems so odd and bizarre and halfway betrothed. It's just that awkward situation, you know. I mean, I don't know if you know. Do you know? Have you ever been, engaged to be married to some prat that you didn't understand? Me neither. But let's move on from that, shall we? So as we see, they move into the city, where they go into a lovely little tavern, where some things with the tutorial happened. I believe it even included some old people who decided to share their random knowledge about such and yada yada, and basic things on how to click on stuff, and it was all rather boring. It was going to get cut anyway, but here we are. Then when we moved into this garden scene where we had Sullivan talking about some Red Spectre who comes hopping out of this little hidey hole. Oh, look, there he is now. What a gallant little lad. He gets chased by the guard and jumps around for a little while, punches a few Skyborn people, leaps, breaks his legs, and then somehow just gets back up again. No one really can tell, and he runs off. And we learn that Claret's in more trouble because Sullivan apparently has a fetish for criminals, which, of course, Claret, being a thief, is now his primary target. So, step back, man. We're warning you. Anyway, they go and get this bill of sale and make it all official, and everything was seeming way too simple, so obviously it had to be a trap. Sullivan turns on our hero Claret, turning her over to the guards, claiming that she is a thief, and she is sent off to prison without anything remotely resembling a trial. Things weren't looking good for our hero and her cutesy little robot, until suddenly someone came to the door. The warden, bringing along some ironclad-looking Skyborn-y fellow who just didn't seem like he belonged, and quite frankly, came up with this really ridiculous plan. So Mr. Iron Chuckles here decided that he was going to use Claret as bait to get her involved with this red menace man who was going to come and rescue some half-born. So she's taken inexplicably from her own solitary cell to a cell full of half-breeds, apparently the scum of the earth in this society, which are half Skyborn, half human, which is, why not have the race card in here? Obviously, makes the story more interesting. After she meets these fellows who are obviously been mistreated, she also learns that Corwin, her former fellow employee, is actually a half-breed after all. After being protected by her brother, he was cast into prison when her brother was sent to jail, which, by the way, is going to be a big plot point later, because Claret only agreed to work with the Iron Maniac because he held her brother's life over her head. So she comes and greets all these peasants right before our hero comes in. The Red Spectre decides, of all things, to take this random human and expects her to follow him, which doesn't make much sense because later on she becomes apparently critically important to the plan, but we'll get to that later. We then learn, while we're in the sewers learning how to fight random monsters, that Claret has the magical ability to take random iron ore and to craft cloth from it. I know, right? Sounds ridiculous, but this is an RPG after all, and since when does logic take place with anything in an RPG? We then found this magical golden door, which I thought might lead to a boss, but turned out to just be something activated by a switch. And there were other doors with other switches, and then we moved on to the surface, where I thought we might be doing some Solid Snake sneaking, but turned out to be just a detour. And as we found, we could easily loot the random shenanigan things around us. It wasn't like anything interesting happened until we met the warden of all people. Now, he looks like a nice fellow, doesn't he? After our little bout with him and a surprising lack of fight on his part as a boss, he was defeated, and we were able to progress back to the surface into a little hideout that was not hidden in any way. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, the Red Spectre jumped up here with the guards chasing him. So who on earth would decide to put a hideout in a place that was easily accessible and had been seen around the time of a crime is beyond me. But anyway, enough about that. The Red Spectre brings in all the half-breeds and gets them to try and join a little rebellion, and eventually invites Claret too, which is very convenient because Claret needs to get into this infiltration so she can actually betray these people. So she agrees to join up. And explicitly, he suddenly decides that she is critical to the plan, and stealing back the airship that she has the title for is now the best thing that they can do. Which, you know, would seem to be an easy way to track them down, but I won't question the authority too much. So they get back to the streets, and it is here where 3D Jordan has finally picked himself up from the corner, dusted off his shoulders, dried his eyes, and is ready to continue this commentary. And now you've caught up with me, because, you know, audio is great. Anyway, so we've just seen the rebel leader take off into the distance. We're going to run after him real quick so we can get to a point where we can save. Get out of here, mouse. Okay. Wait, what? Can I even follow you up there? What was that? I think he might be a Skyborn. That would be very interesting. Either that or he just took out a guard that I couldn't see. Shh. Big group of them up ahead. I can't take them head on. Head through the weapon shop and meet me on the other side. I gotta march through. Okay. Can I save here? Nope. I have to escape apparently. We're going for it, guys! We're going for it! Come on. So far, so good. Follow me through the ladder and jump the canal. Once you're across, we're home free. Unless you fall in the water, I suppose. Oh, good. Don't trust the water. Don't disturb the water. Ho, ho, ho. That was scary. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, okay. Ladder. Of course, stairs. Yes, we're almost there. How did I get water up there? I just thought it's coming down. That's weird. All the half-breeds are secure, Mr. Spectre. Capital. We're off then. Whoa there, Red. Are you sure you can fly this thing? Sounds. Have faith in the humble pilot. Hold on tight. Are we going? Okay, we're going. Yeah! Woo! We escaped, I think. Sure looks that way. Off we go into the sunset. Port District airship docks. That was pretty fun. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like we earned that escape. Alright, we'll have to go on foot from here. This is the slums, and it'll be a bit seedy, so watch yourself. Alright then. Young lady, I owe you an apology. And an explanation, I think. Darn right you do. Sullivan. What? You knew it was me, huh? How, though? They're like in the same place. I can't decide if I'm good or if you're just really bad. I truly am sorry for getting you into this mess. When you flew off with my ship, we were right in the middle of a smuggling operation. I had to improvise. Well, that's your fault for coming up with the stupid plan, Jake. It was his idea, you know. If we'd known you were going to join the Resistance, we could have avoided the entire thing, huh? Angry face! Angry face! Okay, so maybe it's not ideal, but I'm glad you're here anyway. Just wait until you see our operation. Come on, I'll show you the way. I'm not going to feel at all bad about turning him over to the Skyborn. Oh, you will. You will. And that is where we are going to save. Well, guys, that was a fiasco. But thanks for sticking with me to the end. I am super excited. It was so much fun to play through, go through all the breakout of the jail and starting to join this resistance. Mr. Jerkface, I don't know, Mr. Two-Face I could call him. But Two-Face is going to apparently take us to the hideout where we're going to apparently join the rebels, where I think it's going to become very difficult for us to decide on who we betray, our brother or them. So, like and subscribe if you are interested. Please share this video with anybody else you think might be interested in this, especially for good, clean content. I've been editing the entire way. And so, once again, until the next time I see you, bye!